I wear my good butt pants today.
Oh, mine's are good.
That's okay. Everyone knows it.
Hi guys, so we are here today. My name's Chase, I'm with Own Boise, and we're here with two of our most fabulous agents at Own Boise. We have Rebekah McKernan, say hi.
Hi.
And we have Nick Staub.
Hello.
And we brought them here today just to kind of talk shop as it pertains to real estate in the Boise area. Now, some of you guys are really interested in how you can specifically buy or sell a home in this market. Some of you are just casually watching what's taking place, kind of like GameStop. You just want to know what's going on, but you don't really know what's going on. So that's what we're here to break down today. So if you are a Boise native, or even if you've just been here for like 5 years, you feel like a native because there's all these new people coming here, I just wanted to ask the experts. I read recently that Idaho, Rebekah, we'll start with you.
Okay.
Idaho had the most inbound moves of any state in the United States. So what do you think is causing so many people to choose the Boise, Idaho area?
For the thing that it might be becoming, it's small. Everyone wants that small town feel. The cost of living, less traffic, which can I really say that?
Compared to some areas.
Oh yeah, for sure,
right?
for sure. So I think in like what experience their kids are getting from where they're currently living or growing up, they want to give them that different experience here in Idaho.
Gotcha, that's awesome. Do you have anything that you would want to add to that in particular, Nick?
She kind of hit it on the head. A lot of things are attracting, and I mean, just kind of maybe getting away from current things going on where they are. Maybe things that they don't love about their state that Idaho might offer differently.
Yeah, and it seems to be a trend now that people can kind of work from anywhere.
Yeah,
Exactly.
And so they can have their job wherever they may be coming from, and then they can live here. Mm-hmm. Are you guys seeing that?
Yes.
So what does that look like?
Basically, like they can still keep their same job, so they don't have to worry about finding another job. And they can potentially sell their home and bring that down payment and buy something bigger for themselves here even.
So more
Bigger
space,
home.
desirable area.
Yep.
Anything else on that at all, Nick?
Yeah, I mean, with Zoom now, like you can do pretty much anything from anywhere, or Zoom-like programs.
Sure.
But that, I think the pandemic showed everybody, like you don't have to be in a building to do your job. And people are really taking that, and companies are taking that, and really just kind of doing what they can from wherever they want to have a better quality of life and still get the job done.
Well, and speaking of the pandemic, I
Yeah.
think something that's caused, and we'll start with you on this one.
Okay.
I think it's caused people to really look at the space that they're stuck in. Mm-hmm. What have you heard about that?
Yeah, I've heard a lot of things about that. It's funny seeing people coming from places like San Francisco or LA where they have these exorbitant rents or mortgages, and they come out here and it's a fraction of the price, and they get twice as much space and a yard to run around in, or they don't have to all be in one room, one little like studio, and they can just be in the heart of something better for them and their health, their mental health, their physical health. Not have to worry about being on top of their neighbor or their person who they're living with or whatever.
So they might make more money somewhere else, pay more rent,
Right.
and have less space.
Right.
So they can take their money with them and get more space potentially.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's awesome. So what kind of trends have you seen people looking for as they're trying to change up the place they're stuck in?
Yeah, absolutely. I think depending on if it's a family with kids and maybe one parent is working from home or both, they need bedrooms, but they also need that office space. I've been hearing a lot of people are at the dining room table while somebody's
for schooling?
Yeah,
Or
well, both.
Yeah.
Like the wife's at the dining room table and the husband's in the office, and she's like, I can't do this anymore, or he can't, or whatever. And then Nick, great point. Like these kids have to have a workspace
Their
too.
little co-workers.
As we call them. So they need a space and potentially not to be distracted by mom or dad working or another sibling trying to be on their Zoom call for their classroom hybrid situation that they're doing.
Great points. I really appreciate you guys sharing that. So obviously for the last 10 years, our market specifically in Idaho has been steadily rising. And we'll go to Nick on this one first as well. What do you think the future looks like for pricing? Because obviously we've been going up for 10 years. Can it keep going up?
That's a great question.
It's like drum roll.
I know.
Where's your magic crystal ball?
If I had a magic crystal ball, I'd probably be pretty dang wealthy, Chase. But no, I don't see pricing going down, but obviously, knock on wood, like we don't know. We don't know what tomorrow holds. I know that prices have never been higher as far as like listing your home.
Sure.
And rates are at all-time lows, which makes buying more affordable. I don't see that changing anytime soon. I'm not an economist per se, but I would have a hard time believing it's going down anytime soon.
Sure. And just to your point, prices are at all-time highs, rates are at all-time lows.
Yep.
Same thing happened last year, and the year before that, and the year before that, and the year before that.
And people have said it's going to crash for forever, and it hasn't. So
Yeah. So yeah, really, really good point. So how about you, Rebekah? Do you have anything you want to add on that?
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna concur with Nick on that. I hope that the Treasure Valley can bring more jobs to support, the income to support the prices that we're at. And I really don't think there's gonna be change, at least for this year. So that's kind of where I'm gonna draw the line, and hopefully we can just continue going, but at a more sustainable rate.
Sure. And I would say short term, I would just add to the short term, prices have to go up. It's unfortunate, but they have to because there's very little inventory. So speaking of very little inventory, we'll go to you on this one, Rebekah. We hear this often. I would sell my home, but I don't have anywhere to go. So what would you tell someone that is maybe having those thoughts?
But I think everyone's having those thoughts, so it's a great question. Obviously, we as a conglomerate team, we've been in business for quite a long time. I think we have 30 years or something.
Oh man, if you add all of our stuff up.
Yeah, exactly. So we've never had, like in the years in business, we've never had anyone be homeless. So that's our big line, and I truly believe that because we never have. I think people have to understand there's a lot of terms and negotiating contracts. And that's how we protect our clients, to make sure that they aren't homeless and getting exactly what they need.
So let's be really let's dumb it down really simple. If I'm gonna sell my house, but I'm afraid I'm gonna be homeless, and you mentioned terms, make it really easy for all of us to understand.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for having me clarify that. And so we've all done this, I think. I've done this many times over the last couple years. So there's the ultimate contingency for a seller of finding replacement housing. So we'll accept your offer based on the seller finding replacement housing.
So if I'm selling and I see an offer I like, I can accept it and say, if and only if I find another house.
Exactly, yes.
Okay, and then if I don't have to sell.
Exactly.
So what's the benefit to me if I do that?
That means there's no pressure to you to have to be moved out of your house.
Okay.
And you get time
Gotcha.
to find that place. And not to go too deep, no seller wants to take a contingent offer right now on you selling your current home.
Gotcha.
So it behoove you to be sold, and potentially, this is another layer on top of that, of a delayed possession or rent back. So you're sold, and now you have all your cash, your equity, and you can go buy your next house without having any strings of the last house.
Sure. So that's going to give me more power when I go to write an offer on the next one.
It's the only way you can go these days.
Gotcha. So what she's basically saying, in the most simple terms that we can possibly say, is what's going to be a better offer if I go and say, hey, I'll buy your home, but if and only if my home sells, or hey, I'll buy your home. It's pretty simple, right? You're going to want the one that's just going to buy your home. So do you have anything you'd want to add on to that, Nick, at all?
That's why right now is so important to hire the right agent who knows what they're doing, who can protect you and your family and your interests while you are selling, to make sure that you do have that time allotted to find something else if that's what you're doing, or to get the most money. Going back to the idea of terms, there's quite a few different terms that as a seller you can ask for, and you can ask for as a buyer as well, and on the other side. But having somebody who knows the market, who knows how to negotiate well on your behalf, and then all of those terms are pretty much all of them are negotiable. And so knowing that who you hire matters.
Yeah, and I don't think there's ever been a time where that's more important. In fact, even just listening to this, I know it might sound complex. The beautiful thing is they know what they're doing, so you don't have to. And if any point in time you want to understand what they're doing, just ask them and they'll dumb it down for you like they did right here. So I love it. So guys, we really appreciate you tuning in for our little jam session on what's happening in the real estate market here. And we'd love to know what you'd like to know. So if there's anything at all that you guys would want to know that Nick or Rebekah would want to answer, you can obviously reach out to them directly, or you can comment on however you're watching this and tell us what you want to hear in our future videos.
Yeah.
So thank you guys so much. I really
Thank you.
appreciate you taking the time. It was awesome.
Absolutely.
So, okay guys, thanks for tuning in.
Have a good day.